Right, hi guys, I'm going to do the next part in my Jung series. I'm doing tarot cards, A, because I run out of pictures of walking about places, but also because I think that the tarot cards are a very old way of representing the archetypes. I think that was a way that, another way that people depicted the archetypes, and yeah, that's why I'm doing it. There's no other reason. I don't know what I'm doing, and you guys that do know what you're doing will probably be able to read a little bit more into this than what I'm doing. But in true Liz chaos magic, don't know what I'm doing way, I'm just going to go with what feels right, and I'm not going to put any rules on myself. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to do what feels right. So I'm just going to start reading my little essay now. So, the archetypes of the collective unconscious. So this is page 13. Just a little bit when I was reading page 13. So, when people start questioning religious traditions, customs, symbols, they begin to wonder if they hold any meaning for them personally or at all. Jung says, the iconoclasm of the Reformation quite literally made a breach in the protective wall of sacred images. And since then, one image after another has crumbled away. They became dubious, for they conflicted with awakening reason. So, people were blindly accepting what they had been told they represented up until this time, up until they began to utilise what Jung calls the awakening reason. So it's obvious to draw examples again to the current situation, people worshipping at the altar of the convids, which I now call the new religion. That's what I call the new religion, okay? Worshipping at the altar of the convids, okay? So obviously I've talked about this before. The hand washing, mask wearing, clapping, chanting, thank you NHS, stay safe, locking themselves away. It's a little bit like a global self-flagellation ritual, in my opinion. That ridiculous red spiky ball motif, you can even get it in earrings and Christmas decorations now. It's, worshipping false idols or what? So I'm asking, are we the new iconoclasts? Do we possess the awakening reason? We are breaching the protective walls of scientism, tyrannical media propaganda and cognitive dissonance, and throwing out the new, same as the old, religious dogma in order to find the real meanings behind our current symbology. To quote Jung, the history of Protestantism has been one of chronic iconoclasm. One wall after another fell, and the work of destruction was not too difficult once the authority of the Church had been shattered. He continues, the power of the Church has vanished, a fortress robbed of its bastions and casemates, a house whose walls have been plucked away, exposed to all the winds of the world and to all the dangers. So when I was reading this, I thought, well, that should give us hope in a way. If we are the new iconoclasts and we are exposing the emptiness of the new religious symbols of the new church, we can also tear down its fortress and become the winds of the world, and we can become the danger. Jung reminds us that the restless parishioners will look elsewhere for shiny new symbols and meaning. This reminds me of the global warming, climate change, Brexit, Boris, Trump, convid sequence we have just witnessed. Maybe we need to be the attractive, shiny new curio they stumble across next. So I'm asking, is it time to play the new church at its own game? Do we need to devise our own symbols, create our own rituals and traditions? The human race has searched for the archetypes for as long as it has been conscious, hence the tarot cards. We are naturally, term used loosely, predisposed to delve deeply and seek out golden nuggets of truth. If, like magpies, we are easily distracted by a glittery exterior, then why not use this to our advantage? I gave up watching fear porn from the alternative media about 1 month into this nonsense. I was drawn and attracted more to the spiritual, solution-focused podcasts and videos. And in that way, I'm no different to my new church-going brothers and sisters. I don't want to look at the genocide either. I think our timing has to be on point. The minute we see the fortress starting to crumble, we've got to step in as strong, intelligent, loving archetypes, not chastising bully with a told you so attitude. Because as Jung says, we seek the effective images, the thought forms that satisfy the restlessness of heart and mind. So I'm now going to have a little look at some of the cards that just came up. Put some, because I don't know what they mean, I'm just going to grab some bits that I stumble across when I do a search, and we'll just have a little look, see if anything interesting popped out. So, I don't know the first thing about the tarot cards. I started learning about it, and typical me went on to something else. So I'm not going to even worry about whether they were upside down, the right way round, because I don't think there was an upside down and a right way round when I was doing this, because I wasn't doing it for me and I wasn't doing it for you, but at the same time I was doing it for me and I was doing it for you. So I'm just going to look at the explanations that I find, and I'm just going to go with what feels right. So yeah, this isn't going to be how it's supposed to be, but who made up the rules in the first place? Are there any rules? Should we just stop? Should we just make up our own rules, guys? Isn't that what this whole essay's been about? So first of all, the ones that a couple of them kept coming up. So the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Wheel of Fortune kept coming up. So I'm going to just start with those ones. They, even after I shuffled them again, they came back. So let's have a little look. So let's start with the Queen of Cups, because I think that came up a few times. So this is just what I found on the internet. The Queen of Cups is a sentimental, sensitive soul and a good listener. She is empathetic to the feelings of others. As a mother, partner or friend, the Queen of Cups is affectionate, loving and warm. I think Mark would have something to say about that. However, she can also be shy and have a tendency to daydream. She is creative, artistic and intuitive, and she appreciates beauty. She may be a water sign such as Cancer, Tick, Scorpio or Pisces. I know this isn't about me, for God's sake, but I think maybe this is the archetype that we need to be adopting. I said let's be the new shiny thing at the end that the magpies are looking for. This is the archetype we need to be. This is so important. So the next one that came up was the High Priestess. That seemed to come up quite a lot, so we'll have a look at what that says. And just something I found on the internet, which I thought was quite important and interesting, because we've been thinking about the Mandela effect, 2 worlds, 2 realities, the earth dividing into 2, and maybe the Mandela effect is we can slightly see the old world whilst living in the new world. And so this one just kind of said, the veil represents the separate conscious and subconscious realms, the seen and the unseen. Well, that's Jung and the unconscious and the conscious world, so I thought that was quite relevant. So the next one that really jumped out was the Ten of Cups. So just something small I found on the internet. Your goals are worth pursuing no matter what the current struggles may be. And I'll take that, guys, won't you? Gives us a little bit of hope, doesn't it? So the next one was very interesting, and this was really dominant. I don't understand if it was upside down, lying the wrong way. I have no idea, and I'm not even going to worry. Like, I'm just not. I'm just going to go with my intuition. This was my funny little energy in the kitchen with a tripod and a pack of cards. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go with what I find. And this is a really important one, apparently. And depending on whether you do past, present or future, I don't know. I've never done any of that. So I'm just going to read out all three that I found, and it was from a website called keen.com. So I'm just going to read out what I find there. And I thought this one was quite good. Okay, so keen.com says, with regards to meaning in past, present and future positions, I'm going to read all three. The past position represents the foundation of where you are now, as past events created the present reality in which you're receiving your tarot reading. In this position, the Wheel of Fortune represents the big changes in your past that altered the course of where things were going. This could refer to the divorce of your parents, the end of an important love relationship, or other equally momentous events in the past that have blazed the trail on which you walk now. The Wheel of Fortune in the present is perhaps the most momentous placement of any one card in any position in a tarot reading. Get ready for fate to smile on you and transform the circumstances of your life into a manifestation of your self-awareness. This is a great card to receive in the present position, when you have reached a level of knowing yourself well enough to spot the times you are letting yourself down. If you have been taking responsibility for your actions lately, this card in this position reinforces the power that comes with owning your decisions. The future is also a great place for the Wheel of Fortune to appear in your reading, although the change ahead that it signals could be disruptive and unwelcome. If you are happy with the stability in your life right now, the Wheel of Fortune card in the future position reminds us that this too shall change. How, when and why may be revealed in some capacity by the other cards in your reading, especially those touching the Wheel of Fortune card. Well, I've not looked into that, have I? If life is tense or uncooperative at the time of your reading, hello? The presence of this card off in the distance of your journey through life should be an inspiring reminder that this too shall pass. Well, I'm taking that as positive. I'm feeling as if I'm on the right path at the moment. The Zoom meetings are going amazing. Guys are meeting up. It feels right at the moment in all this mad chaos. There's a little bit of an oasis that I'm finding, and I'm just going to go with it. So the tarot cards and the archetypes, Jung, it's all the same. I don't know why people are scared of the tarot cards. I used to be. That's mad bloody Christian brainwashing. They're just cards that symbolise forces or, things that make us human. And all they do, they don't predict the future. They just bring out stuff that we already know, or that we've already know about how the world works. Nothing's happened for the first time in our lifetime. This has happened billions and billions and billions of times and years before. And the archetypes are just reminders that they're going to happen again. So don't be scared of the tarot cards. I'm not scared of them. The reason I was, scared as a Christian, because it was like, nah, don't touch all that witchy shit. Then I became intimidated by them because I didn't understand them. Now, I think they're beautiful, and I'm just play with them. I used to think I needed to read books. I still do to get the meanings, but I'm not sticking to any rules. I'm just going to do what feels right. Otherwise, they're just going to sit in that box. What's the point? Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. So I think I'm going to take that as a positive. I'm going to take all of this as a positive. I'm going to shut up now, guys. That went on a bit. Love you all.